Hello, everybody. Hello, doctors. This is Dr. Mike Woo-Ming.
And I'm Dr. Truong.
And we're super excited to discuss this topic. It's the business of influence and why physicians need an online voice. And it actually caters well to our first live event that's coming. If you haven't heard, it's called, what's the
Dr.
official name of this?
Podfest, Dr. Podfest 2026. And you can find out about it at drpodfest.com.
That's awesome. No matter what we call it, you need to be there if you're a physician, if you're looking to build extra streams of income, if you are looking to have a voice and have a megaphone for this, you need to be there. And we'll talk more about it as we come along. But I want to focus on what we're calling is the business of influence. Now, I know most of you are working full time. You've got a busy schedule. You're battling the EMR. You're in that hamster wheel. So you're probably saying, why do I need to build influence online? And what does that actually mean? I just want to take care of great patients. Take care of patients on here. You don't need to be a TikTok dancer. You don't need to be a YouTube celebrity for influence, but it can make a dramatic change in your career.
So the key point here is that you need to be seen. You need to be heard so that way patient can find out about you. What influence really mean for doctors? Influence means trust at scale. And so you have to influence when patient come and see you in the office, in that clinic room. So what you recommend is hopefully most of the time they'll follow. So instead of being in the office setting, now it's influence in online using media such as podcasts or our favorite YouTube. It means that you are outside the clinic and you're working not one-to-one, but one to many, and your voice actually becomes a reputation multiplier. And what you say, and you control the narrative instead of letting Google or Facebook or Yelp define who you are, or even the reviews define who you are, and really let the world just see you online before they ever come into the office. And this is exactly what I find out had transformed my practice, was that I used to take insurance and I went to cash in 2019. But when I went to online, I'm able to command a premium price that's like 10 times more than what I used to charge, and also be able to be known as the authority and have patients all over really the world to come and see us. We have somebody from Singapore, Hong Kong, as well as in England and all over the US to come and see us because they listen to me on YouTube online and follows my videos. Sometimes know my videos more than I do and quote it. And because they see me like that, they feel that they can trust me and see me as an authority and credible, that they will pick up the phone and pick up their credit card to come and see us in Virginia. So I can't tell you how much it has transformed my practice from just being online.
And I do quite a bit of telemedicine and the world has really changed. Now they're meeting you online before they even shake your hand. And I used to have a company and we would help physicians improve their online reputation. And then they Google my name. I don't like what I'm seeing. Well, you can do something about that. You can control the narrative instead of letting a Yelp review or a Healthgrace review or some random Facebook group define you. And it's almost like a good consult note, which follows the patient from a specialist to the PCP. Your online presence follows you. So you need to decide whether you want to write it yourself or let somebody else do that. So how online influence can impact your practice? There's a few ways. First is patients choose the physician they trust. What do they see? And they're going to trust the one who shows their expertise publicly. If I'm looking for a physician, am I going to be seeing one where I'm not getting much information? Or what if I had a physician who is talking about the problem? They've got a YouTube video. They're explaining it to me. I get to see what their practice looks like. I'm imagining what I would be as a patient. And what this does is it shortens that buy-in period. When a patient already walks into your office or sees you online, they already know your philosophy. You've already built a rapport and it's done. I've seen that with my own podcast. I have clients who are like, they spend a lot of money with us and they say, you know why? It's because I've already listened to you on when I'm on the treadmill or in the car and you speak to me. The problems that you discuss, I've gone through that same problems, and you have that vulnerability, that transparency, and that really kind of resonates. And people resonate who resonate with your message, they're going to seek you out, which is even better for us. I mean, how many times I knew in the insurance realm where like, I'm already clashing with this patient in the first few minutes. And why not have someone who like already knows you already, understands it? I'll have patients and they'll say, oh yeah, you talked about your son with special needs. I have a son or daughter with special needs on there. And we've already connected in another level. And it just makes work so much easier.
Absolutely. And also repel patients you don't want to work with either, because when they resonate with your message, not everybody's going to resonate with what you say. I also think that you also repel patient. And also if you don't take insurance, the price point will probably selecting what type of patient you want to work with as well. And never underprice yourself, doctor. Oftentimes I see doctors just literally underprice themselves a lot, and never do that, because when you undercharge, it means cheap. What does cheap mean? Cheap mean not as good quality. That's just the way our thinking goes. Like for instance, I buy a designer purse that is $10,000, but I can buy a leather purse at Marshall's for like $5. So why do I spend more than 10 times, 20 times more? Because of the name and the reputation. So just kind of have that in mind as well too. And that when you're online, other brands become aware of what your message and what you stand for, and they actually will reach out to want to work with you. And this is what I'm seeing right now, being online for the past 5 years. Is now I'm becoming a brand ambassador. I am doing some commercials for certain brand as well. And you almost become kind of like a magnet that brands want to work with. And it really bulletproof your reputation, because you are controlling the narrative. You are controlling what your message is like. And we are now in 2026, and it's all about online and reputation. Now with AI, you're not online, you're not going to be searchable by AI. Even the other day, I was on ChatGPT, was looking something up about sexual health, and whoa, all of a sudden, I saw my video on YouTube. It's being quoted by ChatGPT about nutrition for ED. I have no idea how I got that. I will bet you I'm going to focusing more on being quoted by AI, which is now a different game that we're playing as well too. So you become the go-to doctor for a certain field. Like Mike is the go-to doctor for hormones and for weight loss. And because the more niche you are online, you're known for that, but you're not stuck in that. You're not stuck in that cell of hormones or weight loss. Like I do ED, but when they come to my office, I also do hair restoration. I also do aesthetic. I also do stem cell therapy for joint as well too. When you're online, that's the window or the door that they come in, but you can also offer other services as well too. And that leads us to the next part with the hidden revenue engine, that influence, online influence unlock. And this is what I love. So you control the attention, you control the opportunity. How good is that, doc? Because in your office, you have very little control. The insurance tell you how much you can charge. The insurance tell you what are the guidelines and all the approval and what you need to put in your note to even get paid. But when you have online influence, you can see speaking engagement, consulting deals, even private pay program. Private pay program is like, let's say you do like a webinar for a company or a webinar for a group, and you can even launch your own courses. You can even write a book and launch that. You can even do telemedicine niche and even job offers and a negotiation leverage. And Mike has been doing this longer than I have. And I've now have seen all of this now has really kind of becomes a leverage point for me now in negotiation for brand. Because the bigger my subscriber base is and my email list, the more negotiation I have. So Mike, you have anything to say about what we just said? I know you have all of this opportunity going at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, once you put yourself out there, it's almost like compound interest. It's just so surprising. It was like, oh, I watched recently. I had a client that I'm working with and said, you know what? I remember you. I went to an event where you spoke at in medical school. He's been in practicing psychiatrist for nearly a decade, and it's like I still remember. And he says, I still have the notes from my speaking engagement that I did. I go, I don't even remember the year or when it was, but it really resonated with me. And our coaching is not inexpensive on there, but it was like you resonated with me back then, and I see all these videos and I listen to your podcasts, and it just opens up so many more opportunities. And we realize it is just like we put this out, and and especially if you use something like YouTube, it's there forever. It's there forever. And people use their YouTube, it's like Google. So when they're searching for something and they're saying, hey, I'm looking to start my cash-based medical practice, more than likely a video of mine that is out there that I did, that I totally probably forgot even the content on there. But you build things small. If you do it small, but you do it consistently, and especially when you come into Podfest, we're going to go over the steps on how to do this. At the end of the day, you're going to have a skyscraper, you're going to have an Empire State Building. And this is why even busy clinicians should care now, because unfortunately what we're seeing is the physician voice is disappearing online. And this is something Ann and I are very passionate now, is that we're seeing people who maybe they have good intentions, but they have no medical training, and they're getting advice from someone who doesn't have that. And if we don't step up now, it's on us. And this misinformation is going to fill the vacuum, and it's already happening on there. And people are spending thousands of dollars on this and signing up for these things. And there is an opportunity for physicians, and you can either just say it's going to happen or you can do something about it. And I think talk about our calling. I think it is part of our calling to help the general public with this, combating this information. And so people are already searching for health answers online, or they're using Chat GPT. Now they're, as Anna's saying, the AI is using what they're actually seeing on the internet. It comes from somewhere. And the question is, will they be able to find your information? Will they be able to find your knowledge? Will they be able to find your advice on there? And so this is important. And you don't need to leave medicine to do this. Just share what you already know. Just do it. You don't have to do this. You stop what you're doing and launch a course or launch 50 videos in a day. Just do it something consistently. Even 1 or 2 videos a week can have a tremendous impact on the general public.
Well, I want to also add about what Mike was saying is that, one, as a physician, your DO, your MD is really a credibility builder right there. To have influence, I always talk about you need 3 factors. You need credibility, your doctor, you have the authority, which you already have. And then all you need is a following or an online presence. So you have 2 out of 3 components to have influence. You already have that through all your schooling and all your clinical practice. All you need to do is to be seen online. And I love YouTube because YouTube is owned by Google. And I will tell you, when Google comes out with any AI, like Google has Gemini now, they will beat anything online. So, and that's what Perry Belcher said, is that when Google comes out, they're going to be a winner. And so what do you think they're going to index? They're going to index their own content. If you're on YouTube, you're going to get found by AI. And I have seen it for my channels. I've been quoted in ChatGPT as well as in Gemini. So the more content you put out there, it becomes text, it becomes audio, it becomes a movie, and that's how you're going to be found. No longer is it putting on a website, you're going to be found. So that's one thing. And then also that when you have online influence, you really now protect your autonomy. And I know that's very important for doctors, because right now the system is moving towards commoditization. So what have I mean by that? That means like the patient's going to call and say, I'm looking for weight loss. How much do you charge? And one clinic will say $110. And then they're going to call another clinic B down the street and go, how much do you charge for weight loss? And one clinic will say $145. And so they're comparing prices, but you don't want to do that. You want to set yourself apart by saying, hey, you're online, you are the authority in your field. So it's like, do you want to see somebody that does weight loss for the last 10 years that has result in thousands of patients? Or you want to go to a weight loss place that is run by nurses that had minimal physician supervision and they're just trying to charge the cheapest just to get patients in there? You don't want to be commoditized and you don't want to be compared. And that's one of the reasons why I talk to doctors about packaging and about being online, so that way you become the authority, therefore you command the premium pricing. Where I'm at in my town, there are other ED clinics that charge 90% less than I do. And I don't care, because the way packaging, the way that I am online, people tend to gravitate with me because they know that they're working with the best. Another thing I want to add was that when you're online, you actually kind of start building out your online media empire. And I love that, because it's like we all know about real estate. You invest in real estate and it compounds. Well, when you're online, it does compound. It becomes your online media asset, because over time, it's going to build on one another. You're going to create content online, then you get brand requests, then you do webinar, then you can sell a workshop, you can sell products, and you can then license. That's what I'm doing right now, licensing my name and my likeness for commercials or for other brands right now. When you do get to that, talk to me about that, because I'm right now in the middle of a brand deal right now. So pick one platform, whether it be podcast, which is audio. You don't have to get dressed up for that. All you need is your voice, and or YouTube. And I love YouTube because you're on YouTube. You can also use the audio to publish it on a podcast platform as well too. And so you do one recording, but it becomes multiple publication repurposing. And Mike and I also take our YouTube recording and we make it into a newsletter, and it goes out as a newsletter. And we also have it as a blog as well too. So we can be found written, audio, and also as a video, and start doing it now because this is a long-term game. So being online is a long-term game. It takes years, but it's like real estate. When you put the money into real estate, you're not going to get the money out of it right away. And so, Mike, you want to talk about why doctor influence win in the future?
Yeah, I like the analogy that you gave with real estate. It's like, okay, I'm involved in real estate. Why not take control of your online real estate? Build your empire. This is almost like back in the day when they sold Manhattan. Wow, this is a great piece of land. Now, what can I do with it on there? And I think the doctors who have influence are going to win in the future, because I think what we're seeing over the next decade, every physician will fit into kind of one of two buckets. There are going to be those who get it, they're going to go create influence. And then there'll be those who are just going to borrow from it, or they're going to have to explain, or they're going to have to dissuade. It's like on the media on there. Do you want your health information be dictated by Kim Kardashian or Jake Paul? I don't want a future to be there. I want physicians to be on the forefront. And physicians who build an audience now are going to shape the future of healthcare conversations, collaboration, startups, innovation, and then ultimately public trust. And that's why we're super excited about this event that we're doing called Doctor Podfest, because I think one of the fastest ways doctors can build influence is through podcasting and is through YouTube. And now podcast is like this modern grand rounds, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with, except the auditorium is the entire world. And we created, and Anne is the brainchild of this, Doctor Podfest. It was created because physician voices deserve a platform to amplify their expertise. And why not get started and learn from people who are actively doing this already? And because when medicine is better, when doctors lead the conversations, not by following it. You want to talk more about Dr. Podfest?
Yes. So that's the reason why I decided last year to do this, because I want to give doctor a voice, because we don't know how to start. And I know that once you follow someone that's done it before, we can lead you into the right path and how you can start your online influence and eventually your media empire. And so that's what Dr. Podfest is about. It's a one day from 8 to 5:30. We're going to show you the roadmap and how to get started. And we're going to show you doctors that have done it and how they did it, and connect with them. Oftentimes, connect with people who've done it before will give you the open doors and give you confidence that you can do it too. And we're going to cap it at 100 doctors, and that's it. It's going to be it for 2026. And you're going to get the connection, and you're going to learn how to get started. You can get started. Like I said, you're 2/3 of the way there, and we're going to make sure that you get all the information that you need. And then, but also Dr. Podfest is a one-day conference in a bigger conference, which is Podfest Expo. And Podfest Expo is the largest podcast conference in the world, the longest running conference. They've been doing it for 12 years. They attract about 5,000 YouTubers and podcasters. So it's not just podcasters alone. Most podcasters actually go on YouTube now because they know the influence of YouTube. And I will tell you, now, I didn't know anything about Podfest Expo. I went to it 2 years ago, and by just going to it, making connection, that has led me to 3 collaborative business strategies that I'm working with right now that it will take my business to the next level. So I want to ask you to kind of be open-minded and go and think about, okay, I want to create my online empire. I hear what Mike and saying, what do I need to do? come to Dr. Podfest. We will show you how to get started, what you need to do, and the connection and the community to get you started. So that way you don't feel alone, you don't feel lost, and that you have a roadmap and you have a community that will support you to get there. So find out more about Dr. Podfest at drpodfest.com, and we love to see you guys there. This is the first time where we're launching this for doctors to start your online media empire. I will tell you this. I have seen it with my business. Mike has seen it with his business, and you don't know until you start. And we have seen it with the doctors that we're working with as well too. You just need to start. What is that quote by Zig Ziglar? You need to start to become great. You need to start to become great. You can't be great unless you start at this point. So influence isn't about ego, it's about impact. And I almost feel it's almost your moral obligation to share your knowledge online to help thousands of people that are seeking this information. And YouTube is the number one platform that people go to for health information. I will tell you that. They're going on YouTube and they're searching for conditions, and you want them to find you who are credible or who are the expert, or you want them to find somebody that had no medical training but has lost weight and is now teaching people how to lose weight. I met somebody that is a fitness trainer, lost 50 pounds, and is now teaching other women who's in menopause to lose weight. And this is a $40 billion business. And she knows because she's online, she's putting herself there and she knows how to market. And I love this line: influence is simply the modern stethoscope. It's a tool that helps you reach people and make better decisions for your career and almost bulletproof your career. Because one of this day, we already seen it. Your reimbursement gonna go down and down. They're already down coding your level 4 to level 3, and they're gonna make it harder and harder for you to get paid. So what you need to do is to figure out how to build other streams of revenue.
Awesome. So if you're a physician and you want to grow your reach and you want to learn the strategies on how to do it, learning from others, and getting plugged into this creator community, we both invite you to come to Dr. Podfest, because that's when the conversations begin. To sign up, go to drpodfest.com, drpodfest.com. It's happening in January in Orlando, and we would love to have you there.
We'll see you in Orlando January 15th. Then it's cold and it's Orlando and it's Disney. What else can you ask for?
That's right.
Check out drpodfest.com or the link down below here.
We'll love it. And remember, guys, you're not just a doctor, you're also a doctor boss. Have a good day. Take care.
Take care.